Welcome to Mint Views. Today we should discuss Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. The CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, seems to have come out strongly against the CAA, the Citizenship Act. In statements made to editors speaking in New York the other day, in fact just yesterday, he seems to have said, or he has said very clearly, that what's going on in India is sad. And he also expressed the hope that he would love to see a Bangladeshi immigrant one day set up a unicorn, a big success of a tech company, or even become the CEO of a big company like, say, Infosys. He has hinted, of course, at the value of diversity to the economy. So we're going to discuss today whether diversity in itself has economic value, that's one, and second, whether or not CEOs should actually involve themselves in debates which are political in nature, as in this case, or the controversial Citizenship Act. So let's start here. Srijay, what would you say about CEOs talking about political issues like the Citizenship Act?
See, CEOs are also human beings and they are also citizens, and they are basically political beings as well. And what happens in the society politically has a bearing on the corporations that they run and also on the larger economy. Therefore, for CEOs to speak on political issues should not surprise us. In fact, this should be welcome. In the case of Satya Nadella, what he says that diversity should be encouraged. There is no disputing with this fact that diversity has helped economies grow, and the US is a prime example of this aspect.
The issue we have right now is whether diversity in itself is something to treasure and value. From what we can make out, Satya Nadella seems to be unhappy distinctly with what's going on in India right now. Shrija, what do you have to say about this?
You're absolutely right, Arish, because his statement sort of reflects the grimness that he has expressed when talking about this bill, and also the fact that Satya Nadella is a big influencer, as we all know, in the tech world, and is one of the big behemoths in the corporate world as well. So his statement also, has profound implications for a lot of people. But on the other side, Arish, we also have to look from where he is right now. He's currently in the Silicon Valley, which is the biggest manifestation of what diversity to an economy can do to you. So definitely we can't offset the multifarious benefits and the positives of diversity that brings in an economy. Even if you look at a diverse workplace, you see so many changes, you see so many dividends that you can reap out of that workforce. Why are multinational firms or corporations, advertise for positions or advertise for offices which needs to be multicultural, diverse? So that's a perspective what firms and companies are offering. So you definitely India, and given the fact that we had such a strong historical understanding of diversity, which is reflected in the multicultural attitude and the aspect of India as such. We have so many traditions, so many cultures which are there across the country. So the value of diversity, definitely India realized, and we did unlock its potential for some time. We've been reaping the benefits of it, but definitely with the CAA, it seems to be a bit on the...
So someone from Silicon Valley, therefore, we can assume has a very first-hand feel of what diversity can do, cross-fertilization of ideas, different thoughts, different people sitting together and discussing things, tends to throw up ideas in so many ways. And the basic success of Silicon Valley basically seems based on the very idea of diverse minds talking amongst themselves. That's a value in itself. Anant, what do you make of it, what Satya Nadella has said?
I think he's made a very valid point, and nobody can argue against the need for diversity. It's got economic benefits, it evolves your society into a more accepting society, tolerant society. There are numerous benefits, and nobody can say that this is something that we don't require. We definitely require it. But the point is whether India is moving away from that kind of are we becoming less diverse? Is that really the case? I would beg to differ. I don't really think that is the case. And as Shrija mentioned, there is already, if we look at our history also, there has been immense diversity in our country, perhaps much more than countries like the US. And even if you look at the CAA, or the point that Satya Nadella has made, he seems to be emphasizing on the point that people from regional countries, or any other country for that matter, are able to enter freely into a growing economy and then do well in different spheres of life, not necessarily in business, but in any sphere of life. I think that has been happening in India. For instance, you take the case of Pakistani singer Adnan Sami, he's got a citizenship in India. So I don't really think that we are moving backwards in this particular case. Those provisions have not been changed by the CAA. As of now, even after the implementation of the CAA, any citizen of a different country who feels that he needs a citizenship of India can apply to India's authorities and seek it. They've not been barred in any way, and that is an important point to emphasize over there, I guess.
We must remember what Satya Nadella has indicated, that diversity basically is a bedrock of success in the modern age. And that's very, very important. And when we say diversity, it means being open and welcoming to everybody, regardless of their background, belief system, whatever it may be. So long as they're human beings, they should be welcome. That's been the great success of America, Silicon Valley and California in particular. And that's the model in which India will probably succeed in the years to come. Thank you.